Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back from my existing subscribers. Today I'm going to go over my keybinds in Rainbow Six Siege and try to share some insight on what I've learned along the way in playing this game to make this a little bit easier of a transition. So first things first, I'm going to go over here and go to my controls, my ADS, and my ADS is 55, my DPI is 800, my sensitivity is 25 and 25. Make sure you have raw mouse input on. Change your gadget deployment and your drone deployment to advanced so that you don't automatically go to your drone when you throw it or get stuck in animations like the traps. So when I was doing some of my keybinds, it got a little bit weird. The vote interface got switched around a little bit, but I was able to get it back to number 7. That's where you pick your spawn. As you can see here, just moving is all default. Unless you have something different that you like to use, just keep it default. My crouch is the same default, but what I did change is I changed the walking from Alt to X, as you can see there. So whenever I want to walk, I just tap X, which is right underneath the S. And for my actual mouse, I have my bottom mouse button, which is on my left. I have it for melee, and my top one I have for grenades and nitrocell, so it makes it a lot easier to throw. Another really big change that I made was I switched that. Like for instance, with Maestro's cam, you can open it up and shoot and like things like that. I had that set to X because I use the right mouse to scan enemies. This is a big deal because having the right mouse on any key that's easy for you to get to makes it a lot easier to maneuver. It makes your mouse more, or your drone more agile, and it's just one of those things that over time it's just a lot easier to keep your drone alive, especially since people aim so much better on PC. All right, let's go over my settings real quick. Pretty much I have my LOD on very high, filtering on high or very high, texture quality on very high, shading I actually switched down to low, and then reflections on low, and shadows on medium. You can actually see shadows a lot better in this game. I have a specific graphics card. You have to play around with your settings to see which one's best for you, and that part of the video is kind of done, but I don't feel I did a good job in kind of showing off the Pro League skins in my last Pro League video. I didn't really use Dokkaebi. I didn't use too much Ying. So this last half of the video is just going to be me spinning around the operators and, you know, showing it off to you. But I'll keep talking about why I do some of the keybinds. Like I was saying with the advanced gadget deployment, there's a lot of times where you'll actually die because you're like putting a bandit down, or you're putting a reinforcement up and you have to wait till the animation is completely finished if you have it on the standard. But when you have it on advanced, if you let go of the button, it's a little bit less convenient, because you have to hold the button the entire time. But if somebody pushes you or rushes you, you can just let go of the button and go straight to shooting, so you don't have to wait for animation to finish. And then the drone deployment is a new thing they came out with this season, and I think it's awesome. You could use it as, some people use it as a fake concussion grenade to get people to turn around while they're in OBJ. Some people use it as just bait, because back in the day, anytime you threw a drone, you knew somebody was on drone. But essentially the gist of it is you throw the drone and you don't immediately get on it. So that's really big. The reason I switched my walking key to Alt, or from Alt to X, is because sometimes I would try to walk and I would accidentally exit the game. And then another big thing is my middle mouse button is actually programmed to my sniper button. So a lot of mice have a button that lowers your DPI, and that's kind of like your sniper button or whatever your company gimmicks it as. But there's a button that lowers your DPI so that you can aim a little bit more effectively or efficiently. So what I did is I went into my Logitech, G tool or whatever they have, and I actually changed that to be the same thing as my middle mouse. Now what that does is whenever I press it, it's the same exact thing, and I don't have to worry about the middle mouse accidentally switching weapons. Like for instance, when I used to use buck, sometimes I would try to switch to the shotgun, and instead of switching back to the main gun, I would end up like changing to the pistol and then having to switch back to a C8 and then back to the regular version, not the master key or the skeleton key. So those are some of the keybinds that I have and why I use them. Hopefully it can help you guys out. And if you have anything specific that you use that's really helpful, then go ahead and drop it in the comments and share with us. Other than that, you guys be easy, and I will catch you in the next video.